Hello America, and welcome to our exposé on something truly horrifying. No, it's not another season of Emily in Paris, although I understand those can be equally traumatizing. We're talking about scams. Yes, those pesky, persistent little nightmares that just won't go away, even in our technologically advanced year of 2025. You'd think by now, with our self-driving cars and AI-powered toasters, we'd have figured out a way to outsmart a few con artists. But alas, here we are, still falling for the same old tricks like a goldfish swimming into a net, repeatedly. And trust me, if goldfish had wallets, those scammers would be swimming in tiny, adorable bills. So buckle up, dear viewers, as we take a deep dive into the scams that are still plaguing the USA in 2025. You won't believe some of the tricks scammers are still using to steal your hard-earned money. And by won't believe, I mean you absolutely will, because you've probably fallen for at least one of these. Don't worry, we'll get through this together. Phishing scams. The classics never die, do they? Like that old denim jacket, they keep coming back year after year. You'd think we'd be wise to those emails from Nigerian princes, but phishing scams are still alive and well. Gone are the days of laughably bad grammar. Today's phishing emails are slick and convincing. They look like legitimate emails from your bank or favorite store. So how do you avoid getting hooked? Remember, legitimate organizations never ask for personal info via email. If an email seems fishy, don't click on any links. Contact the organization directly using real contact information. Now you might think, John, I'm far too clever to fall for a simple phishing email. I spend hours trawling the dark web, battling cybercriminals with nothing but my wits and a slightly sticky keyboard. And to you, my friend, I say, bless your heart. Because if you're spending time on the dark web, you're already swimming in shark-infested waters. The dark web is a breeding ground for phishing scams. It's where scammers go to buy and sell stolen login credentials, credit card numbers, and other personal information. So, if you insist on venturing into the murky depths of the internet, be prepared to encounter more phishing attempts than a fisherman on a reality TV show. And for heaven's sake, use a VPN. Think of it as the digital equivalent of wearing a raincoat on the dark web. It might not protect you from everything, but at least you won't get soaked in metaphorical malware. So, what can we do to combat these digital pirates? Well, for starters, we need to be more vigilant. Question everything. If an email seems even remotely suspicious, treat it like it's carrying the plague. Secondly, we need to be more proactive in protecting our personal information. That means using strong passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and generally being a pain in the backside for any would-be scammer. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, we need to spread the word. Tell your friends, your family, your barista, that weird guy who always wears the same socks to the gym. Everyone needs to be aware of the dangers of phishing scams, because the only thing worse than falling victim to a scam is knowing that someone you love could have avoided the same fate. And now we delve into the thrilling, terrifying, and often utterly baffling world of cryptocurrency. It's like the Wild West out there, folks, but instead of tumbleweeds and saloons, it's filled with volatile digital tokens and people who unironically say, "Hodel." Now, I'm not here to tell you whether or not to invest in cryptocurrency. Frankly, I understand it about as much as I understand quantum physics, which is to say, not at all. But what I do know is that cryptocurrency scams are on the rise, and they're getting more sophisticated by the day. So if you're thinking about dipping your toes into the world of Bitcoin and Ethereum, be prepared to encounter more red flags than a communist rally in a bullfighting ring. One of the most common cryptocurrency scams is the infamous rug pull. It's a fitting name really, because it involves yanking the rug right out from under investors, leaving them sprawled on the floor, wondering what the hell just happened. Here's how it works. A group of shady individuals creates a new cryptocurrency, often with a flashy website and a white paper full of jargon that would make Stephen Hawking's head spin. They then hype up their new coin on social media, using bots and paid influencers to create a false sense of excitement and legitimacy. Unsuspecting investors, blinded by the promise of quick riches, pour their money into the new coin, driving up the price. And then, once the scammers have made a tidy profit, they pull the rug out, selling off their own holdings and disappearing into the digital ether, leaving investors holding a bag of worthless digital tokens. Ouch! So, how can you avoid getting sucked into a cryptocurrency scam? Well, for starters, be wary of any investment opportunity that promises to make you rich quickly. As the old saying goes, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Especially if that investment opportunity involves a man in a Hawaiian shirt, promising you the secrets to financial freedom from his yacht. Secondly, do your research. Before investing in any cryptocurrency, take the time to understand the technology behind it, the team behind the project, and the overall market conditions. And don't just rely on information you find online, which, let's face it, can be about as reliable as a weather forecast from a groundhog. And finally, if you're ever unsure about a cryptocurrency investment, don't be afraid to seek advice from a qualified financial advisor. Because when it comes to your hard-earned money, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Unless, of course, you enjoy the feeling of being financially violated by a bunch of internet strangers, in which case carry on. Fake tech support calls. The robocall equivalent of that one weird uncle who insists he can fix your computer by blowing on the motherboard. You'd think by 2025 we'd be smarter than this. We've got self-driving cars that can parallel park better than a teenager on a first date, but we still haven't figured out how to ignore a call claiming our Windows 10 is suddenly fluent in Klingon. It's baffling. But here's the thing, these scams are still around for a reason. They work. They prey on our fear of technology, our desire for a quick fix, and our general inability to say no to someone who sounds vaguely official. So buckle up, because in this chapter, we're diving deep into the world of fake tech support scams, exposing their tactics and hopefully arming you with the knowledge to hang up on these digital bottom feeders. Remember when these scams were just about convincing you that your computer had a virus? Simpler times, like finding a Blockbuster in the wild. These days, they've upped their game. They're not just impersonating Microsoft anymore. They're coming for your bank accounts, your social security numbers, and even your Netflix passwords. They'll tell you your internet is compromised, your router's been hacked, or that your smart refrigerator is about to stage a hostile takeover of your kitchen. Okay, maybe not that last one, but give them time. The point is, these scammers are getting more sophisticated, more believable, and sadly more successful. But don't worry, we're about to hit them where it hurts. Their bottom line. So, how do you protect yourself from these digital pickpockets? Well, it's actually easier than you think. First and foremost, remember that legitimate tech support will never, ever cold call you. If someone claiming to be from Microsoft, Apple, or even your internet provider calls out of the blue, hang up. Seriously, do it. Don't even engage. It's like arguing with a flat earther. It's just a waste of your time and energy. Secondly, if you're ever unsure, verify. Look up the official contact information for the company in question and call them directly. Don't use any numbers or links provided by the suspicious caller. And finally, educate yourself and your loved ones. Share this video, tell your friends, warn your grandma who still thinks Facebook is a government surveillance program. The more people who know about these scams, the harder it is for these digital parasites to thrive. Alright, let's talk about online shopping scams, because who among us hasn't fallen into the seductive embrace of a too-good-to-be-true deal? It's like seeing a unicorn wearing a 50% off sign. You know it's a fantasy, but damn, you want to believe. And scammers are counting on that desire, setting up shop on social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, where they know we're primed and ready to impulse buy. They dangle these deeply discounted designer handbags, sneakers, you name it, all while blasting those siren songs of limited time offer and exclusive deal. But here's the thing. Folks, if a deal looks too good to be true online, it probably is. It's like finding out that unicorn is actually a chihuahua in a costume. Disappointing and potentially dangerous. These scammers often create fake websites or social media profiles that mimic legitimate brands, complete with stolen logos and product photos. They're basically digital con artists creating elaborate facades to trick you into handing over your credit card information. So, how do you spot these online shopping scams? Well, for starters, look out for suspicious websites. If the URL looks dodgy or has typos, it's best to steer clear. It's like finding a restaurant called Toast. You know something's not quite right. Also, be wary of sellers who only accept unconventional payment methods, like wire transfers or cryptocurrency. Legitimate businesses will usually offer secure payment options through trusted platforms. If they're demanding you pay with Bitcoin to get a discount on a knockoff handbag, well, that's your cue to exit stage left. Another red flag is the lack of contact information or customer reviews. If you can't find a phone number, email address, or any reviews about the seller, that's a big red flag, waving frantically like a mime having a breakdown. And speaking of reviews, be suspicious of overly positive reviews that sound like they were written by the same person who wrote the product description. You know, the ones that are like, "This toaster oven changed my life, it's so sleek and stylish and it makes the perfect avocado toast." Yeah, no. So, how can you protect yourself from these online shopping scams? First and foremost, stick to reputable websites and sellers. Think of it like choosing a restaurant. You're more likely to have a good experience at a well-established place with plenty of positive reviews, and always do your research before making a purchase. Read reviews from multiple sources, compare prices, and look for any red flags we discussed earlier. It's also a good idea to use a credit card for online purchases, as they offer better fraud protection than debit cards. Think of it as an extra layer of security, like having a bodyguard for your money. And never, ever share your personal or financial information on unsecured websites or with unknown sellers. Remember folks, when it comes to online shopping, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Don't let the allure of a bargain cloud your judgment and turn you into a cautionary tale. Taxes. The bane of our existence, the necessary evil, the thing we all dread more than a root canal. And you know who loves to exploit that fear? Scammers. They pose as IRS agents, ready to pounce on our tax-related anxieties. Using threats and intimidation, they scare you into handing over your money. They might call, email, or even text, claiming you owe back taxes and threatening you with arrest or legal action. The real IRS will never threaten you over the phone or demand immediate payment without first sending a bill. So, if you receive a call from someone claiming to be from the IRS and they're demanding immediate payment or threatening you with legal action, hang up. Now, how can you tell if it's a real IRS agent or a scammer trying to steal your hard-earned cash? Well, for starters, real IRS agents will always provide you with a unique taxpayer identification number, also known as a TIN. Think of it like their official badge of authenticity. If they don't have it, they're not the real deal. They'll also be happy to provide you with their contact information and give you time to verify their identity. If the person on the other end of the line is getting impatient or aggressive, that's a major red flag. And here's another thing, the IRS will never ask for your personal or financial information over the phone or email. That's like asking a stranger on the street for your social security number, it's just not something you do. If you receive an email or text message claiming to be from the IRS, be extra cautious. Scammers often use fake email addresses and websites that look official, but are actually designed to steal your information. So, what should you do if you think you've been targeted by an IRS impersonation scam? First, don't panic. I know it's easier said than done, especially when someone's threatening you with jail time, but try to stay calm. Remember, the scammers are counting on your fear to cloud your judgment. Next, hang up the phone or ignore the email. Don't engage with them, don't give them any personal information. Just cut off all contact like you're ghosting a bad date. Once you've done that, report the scam to the real IRS. You can do this online or by calling their dedicated hotline. Think of it as reporting a crime. You're helping to protect yourself and others from becoming victims. And finally, remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about these scams, the better equipped you'll be to spot them and avoid becoming a victim. Well folks, there you have it. A crash course on the top scams still fooling Americans in 2025. From phishing emails to fake tech support calls, these scams are becoming increasingly sophisticated and harder to detect. But don't despair. By staying informed, being vigilant, and trusting your gut instinct, you can protect yourself from becoming a victim. Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And if someone is pressuring you for personal or financial information, it's always best to err on the side of caution. Stay safe, stay informed, and don't let the scammers win. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Until next time, I'm Casey Hunter, and I'm here to help you navigate the treacherous waters of the internet, one scam at a time.